Greetings and salutations to all the lovely ladies out there, and I guess hi to the guys too. I don't really care if you're watching. No, you just alienated most of the viewing audience. Oh well, screw it. Alright, so we're back with more Kirby's Epic Yarn. In the last episode, it was all about Beedrix and collecting a bunch of beads for friendship bracelets, but this episode, we're gonna do something manly. As soon as we finish doing interior decorating, which I guess isn't manly. But after we do interior decorating, then we're going to be manly. Because this new tenant that's moving in, it's not going to be a female, alright? We are getting one of our boys to move in. And this guy, he is hardcore. This is gangsta. This is going to be Buster's pad. I don't know why he likes this particular stuff. Like, I guess he needs a bath because he's always fighting, so he gets smelly. And then the torch like heats up the bath because you don't want to take a cold bath, guys. Then you end up with shrinkage, and that's not good. Just stellar, another wonderful job. You have a knack for this, Lord Kirby. And I guess Buster likes the totem coal because he likes like people watching him take a bath. He's a freak. I take one look around here, and all I can say is yes. I'm Buster, by the way. It's Buster Rhymes. Oh, marvelous, Lord Kirby. Another tenant. Yeah, this is our boy right here. He's got our back, unlike Prince Fluff, who just like hangs around. And then at the first sight of trouble, he's like, oh, I'm out of here. But if we got in a scrap with Buster, you can bet Buster would help us out, I think. I don't know. He doesn't have arms, so I don't know if he could, like, help us that much. But maybe he could, like, fly us to safety, since he can fly and we can't. Alright, so yeah, basically in the Buster runs, all we have to do is defeat the enemies. We don't have to worry about getting all these little stupid beads or anything like that. We just go through and cause a ruckus. So basically what I'm going to do is grab one of the enemies, throw him at his next door neighbor. That way it's like a faster way to beat him up. And aw, we can't jump through that platform. I hate when they have platforms like that. Alright, so die. I'm gonna squash your head. Squash your head as well. Would you like the same treatment? Okay, you can have it too. Everybody gets an anvil to the face. Alright, would you like it too? Alright, I don't want anybody to feel left out here. You were napping. Now you're dead. Now you're taking an eternal nap. Alright, so yeah, that's all we do in the Buster runs. Go through and just cause a ruckus. We, like, pretend you're Wolverine and you're in your Berserker raids. That's all you gotta do. Yo, Kirby, looks like we can try out a brand new training stage. Holla! Alright, Buster Rhymes. You put on quite a show out there, Kirby. I'm really impressed. Keep it up. Then we could be in his entourage if we keep it up. I found this out there during your last training session. You wanted a what? I want it. You got the gangsta gat fabric. No, you got the sweet dot fabric. Alright. Got the sweet spot for the sweet dot. I sew it into a vest in case I get shot. Die will not. Freestyle rhyming skills I have not got. Cause yeah, I'm just gonna. I don't know how effective a bulletproof vest made out of cotton fabric would be. I don't know. I don't think that's what they make Kevlar out of. They're like, cotton poly blend, this'll dodge a bullet. No, I don't think it will. You will die, so all of you people out there who are thinking of making your own bulletproof vest out of like old t-shirts, I don't think it works that way. I think you have to have, yeah, I'm pretty sure it doesn't work that way. I don't know, I'm not a cop or anything. Alright, so we're gonna have to run through here. Sometimes, like the first time I played this, I forgot all about the alligators. I didn't like notice them at first, so yeah. I noticed them now because they just bit my butt off. Alright, so why don't you get up close and personal with your neighbor? You can mate and have a baby. Whenever Waddle Dees get together and have a baby, they just have an explosion of yarn, and then I guess it's like when flowers pollinate, that's how they repopulate. That's why there's so many Waddle Dees. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much because I'm not really into the whole Waddle Dee mating rituals, but we are making love connections left and right here in this episode, except for that guy. And this guy, all of you guys, you're just going to get squashed on. Yeah, I'm not going to throw you into anybody else, because I don't want you to have a fun encounter. Your last moments on Earth. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, let's see. You die as well, and we have 5 more to go. Alright, so this last one right here, if you can get the angle right, you can actually throw that spear so that it will take out everybody else, but I did not, so that's why I got short on time. Even though we still had about 10 seconds left, if I'd have thrown the projectile spear the right way, we could have done it a lot faster, but oh well. Buster, unlike Beedrix, is going to give you a lot of extra time, because he knows how it is for guys, man. He's not trying to be hardcore. But Beedrix, she just expects everybody to be awesome like her. She must think like a bunch of skilled girl gamers are playing, and she's like, oh, you guys can do this in 20 seconds. And I'm like, no, I can't. Maybe you can, Beedrix. But it's like nearly impossible for me. Alright, so what manly fabric are we going to get this time? The Waddle Dee fabric. Alright, I guess that's what we get for killing so many of them. Or not killing them, we were just helping them to have their mating ritual. That's what it is. So that's more appropriate. No, I don't think you can do that in video games. Like video games, this is how the ratings work for video games. You can kill as many people as you want, but you can't show like mating or something. That's what got Grand Theft Auto in trouble all those years ago. It was like, oh, well, we don't care if you're running over prostitutes, but we don't want to see the prostitutes doing anything. So it's kind of weird the way our society's morals are, but what are you going to do? That's just the way that we live. Alright, so the key to this level here, the only thing that might cause you a little bit of problems is some of these enemies that are floating around in the tornado, because since they're covered with spikes, we can't exactly do our weighted Kirby on them, so we're going to have to find something we can throw at them. Luckily, these other guys are helping us out, and if you don't have a projectile, you can do what I just did there, and just like kind of run into them. You're going to lose time whenever you do that. You lose 5 seconds on Buster's run if you get attacked or something like that, if you take damage, but Buster, like I said, he's going to give you so much extra time that it doesn't matter. And wow, I actually got the projectile to kill more than one enemy. Go me! I think you can actually line it up the right way so that it takes out this guy at the end too, but I just do not have the archery skills. I'm not Link, I don't have the awesome skills that he does, but whatever. We still got it done, and we're still going to get a cool fabric, and Buster's still going to say, "Yo, Kirby!" I wish they had like voice actors for Buster, because I wish he really was Buster Rhymes. That would be awesome. They couldn't afford Buster Rhymes for this game, but it would have been cool if they'd have had him. That would have made this game so much better, even though it's okay how it is. Alright, we got the Mummy Mania fabric, because it's good to listen to your mummy. Oh, wait, not your mom, like mummies. Oh, ancient Egypt mummies. Those guys with the bandages. Yeah, I don't like them. They're scary. Alright, so we're going, not mushroom, run! How many times is this game going to torture me with the psychedelic mushrooms? So we just got to take out 15 enemies in 2.5 minutes. That seems easy peasy right there. If this was a Beatrix run, she'd be like, take out 9,000 enemies in 2 seconds. You're like, Beatrix, screw you! Alright, so we killed the jellyfish, but then we got caught in his little secretions, and they like tortured Kirby, because Kirby's not into all that man juice, whatever these things are shooting out. It's just weird, man. Alright, so let's kill the other jellyfish before his weird stuff gets all over us, because that's not cool, man. If you're like a jellyfish out there and you're just letting your stuff all fly out everywhere, like, be considerate for others, because I don't want to walk into that stuff, okay? Alright. So, we have taken out the 3 jellyfish. There's still a dozen more enemies to go. One thing that's going to help you on this one to do it a little faster and a little better than I am doing it is if you can snag one of these bees, they're going to turn into a projectile and take out 3 enemies at once, so you want to use those. Also, the snail right here, make sure you grab him so that you can take out all those boxes. Otherwise, you're going to have to waste like 3 enemies, like destroying all those crates, because there is a bee hidden in there, so you're going to have to find some way to break through there, and using the snail is the fastest way to do it. Alright, so let's see. Just roll up the jellyfish. Ah, I missed. That is not fair. And then I got caught in the jellyfish, whatever it is that he shoots out. It's not fun. I'm gonna start jellyfish genocide now. Anytime I see a jellyfish, I'm just gonna eradicate them because they have annoyed me. And your kind must die because you have no consideration for others. You're just like shooting stuff out everywhere and it's just annoying. See, this is my point. This is why jellyfish must die right here. Alright, so you might have noticed that one jellyfish, I didn't actually like throw away, I just rolled him up. As long as you roll the enemy up into a ball, that counts good enough for Buster. Because he's like, they're out of commission. And Buster likes to roll up stuff too. If you know what I mean. Yeah, we're rolling up now. Alright, so we're done with yet another Buster level. We're gonna get another fabric. We got the Mary Jane fabric now. I found this out there during your last training session. What is it? It looks like a bumblebee. We got the buttonfly fabric. That's adorable. At least they're not buttonfly jeans because those are pretty girly if you ask me. Just give me a good old-fashioned zipper. Actually, if I have my choice, just screw jeans altogether. Just give me like some basketball shorts and a t-shirt and I am good to go because I am not one of those well-dressed guys. I like to be comfortable. And you never know when like you might need to go out and play basketball. So I'm always ready. I like always got my sneakers on. Like somebody might call and they want to go play basketball. So I gotta be ready. Derrick Rose might call me. He'd be like, yo, we need an extra player. I'd be like, alright, I'm there. Alright, so we are back in music land. These Waddle Dees are disrespecting the cymbals. That's like how I got kicked out of marching band, because I, too, used to treat cymbals like they were trampolines, and people don't like it when you do that. No. I was never in marching band, but I was actually in our middle school, our school band, And the funny thing is, like, everybody always says, like, if you're in band, that's like this quote-unquote band geeks, and so, like, you're lame or something. But in my school, like, at least in middle school, it didn't work out this way in high school, but in middle school, all the popular girls, at least, all the pretty girls were in bands, so I was like, yes, jump on, sign up for that, because, like, all the flute players and the clarinet players, that was the people you want to be hanging out with, so that's what I did. I was in percussion, because I wouldn't say I'm a drummer, like, because people, like, you had to buy, if you wanted to be, like, play snare drums, you had to buy that, and we were very poor, so we didn't have that, so I would just, like, play whatever percussion stuff the school had, and so, like, I even played triangle on, like, a couple of songs, because I'm not very musical, so I guess they figured we can have him play triangle, that he can't mess up triangle, but so bad. But other times, I would play the big giant bass drum that the school has, where you keep the beat, but that didn't last very long, because here's the problem that would mess me up when it came to playing the bass drum. Like, it's okay, like, I can keep the beat, the rhythm, I have no problem with that, but what would mess me up every freaking time is sitting right next to me where we had percussion. We actually had one girl in percussion, and she would play the xylophone, and this was no ordinary girl. This was like, I don't know how she snuck into middle school, but she was like a 10 back then. Like, way out of my league. I didn't have a chance, but it didn't stop me from, like, trying to get my flirt on with this girl. So yeah, I'd be like keeping the beat, and then I'd like look over at her, or I'd start trying to chat her up like in the middle of the song, and like I would just like totally lose the beat. So I'd start out like good, I'd be like thump thump, keeping the time, and then all of a sudden I'd just be like da thump da thump da thump, and I'd like stop playing, or else I'd be like way off. And then our like music teacher, he would just like freak out, because he was one of those guys who took music like really seriously. Like, this was his life. He thought he was conducting the like New York Symphony Orchestra or something like that. So anytime you messed up, or especially if you were goofing off like I was, he would just get all red in the face and start like cussing you out, like literally cussing you out in front of the whole class. So yeah, that's like the only time I remember in school getting in trouble, is that, because usually I'm like kind of a goody two-shoes when it comes to that. Alright, we got the Dan fabric. Those were the enemies that we were beating up during that level that I like didn't bother to commentate on, because you saw what I was doing. I was busy telling the story of when I was a band geek, and not a very good band geek at that. I was a band geek that wasn't good enough at band to stay a geek any longer. They had to kick me out. They were like, sorry, you're even too geeky for us. Alright, this is actually one of my favorite levels. We have to kill 25 of these little bees, but the nice thing is they're going to keep respawning, and every time we throw one of them, it's going to turn into that projectile that's going to take out 3 enemies, so it's actually really easy. Just keep hopping back and forth to one of the 2 dinosaur heads, snag a bee as you jump up, and you're going to have this knocked out in no time. Let's see, we only have 1 more to go, so let's go ahead. Can we roll up somebody? Yes, we did. So yeah, this one's actually one of the fun Buster minigames. It's pretty easy to do, and it's Dino Land, all the memories of Dino Land. My very first level that we ever did on Kirby's Epic Yarn, or that I ever did on this NinBuzz Let's Play, which has been so fun to do. I've enjoyed it so much. You put on quite a show out there, Kirby. Duh, that's what I do, man. I'm a showman. Alright, so Buster found something. I bet it's fabric related. Yes, it's fabric, but what kind of fabric? The hot wings fabric. Oh man, I hope it's got some good barbecue sauce. We got some hot wings up in here. Like, I don't know if I want my sheets like smelling like hot wings or anything, but maybe, I don't know. So different strokes for different folks, maybe. Alright, let's go to Splash Beach, because we want to get a tan on. Kirby wants to go see all the bikini supermodels out there. Alright, so the way we're going to do this, we have to take out 15 enemies. We don't have that much time. You want to use that projectile there to take out those 2, and then try to get your weighted Kirby so you're smashing people at the same time. It's going to be a Waddle Dee there being carried. Try to weight Kirby on those 2. And then the trick to the rest of this is just grab these little spear projectile enemies and throw them at the next guy in line. So you want to get your chiming down there, and then I think the very last line, yeah, there's all like 4 in a row. So just throw the spear down and you will do it. You could probably do it faster than I did, but hey, whatever works. We're still gonna get the fabric, even though I like barely got in on time. That's one of those levels that I will admit, this is not my first time doing that one, because the first time I like got all screwed up. I like wasn't throwing the projectiles at the right angle, and if you mess up on that, chances are you might have to redo the level, but you'll get the hang of it. None of these Buster levels are really hard. If you can beat Beedrix, you can beat Buster, because Buster, he's a lot easier. Alright, so we got the water hoop fabric, because we're gonna hoop it up. I guess it's like one of those basketball hoops that people like have in their pools, which are pretty fun, because they're like the only basketball hoops that I can actually dunk on. Those and those little plastic Fisher Price ones that are like 4 feet off the ground. But anytime there's a basketball hoop that's like higher than 6 feet off the ground, you know, that would require actual jumping, yeah, that's too tall for me. I can't do it. Alright, so the first thing we want to do here, throw that guy, and you want to do it at a better angle, because actually you can take out all 4 of those enemies at the top instead of just half of them like I did. Alright, let's throw... I cannot do anything right in this episode. Alright, so yeah, we got 3 more to go. There's going to be 4 more jellyfish, so we still got plenty of time, and I guess that worked. I didn't think I would be able to like unravel him since he was electric, but I guess you still can. He just zapped me a little bit, but we got it done. And I'm just getting a little sloppy now. So I think I'm going to end the video off here. I need to like recharge my batteries, take some like PCP or something. No, stay off drugs, kid. Alright, so we're going to end this off. But in the next episode, we're going to finish up all the rest of Buster's minigames after we get this fabric, which is going to be the waterfalls fabric. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Just stick to the rivers and lakes that you're used to. See you guys next time for more Kirby's Epic Yarn.